let's get into how to use the blend tool. I've created a circle and a square, and I want to create a transition from that circle to the square, and the blend tool is a great way to do that. So I'm going to select these two objects. I am going to go to my blend tool over here, and I'm going to click the center of each shape. So click the center circle and the square. I get a beautiful transition, not only from the shape, the circle, to the square, but also in color. And back in the early days of Illustrator, this was the only way to actually create a blend. We actually used lines, so we would go like a stroked line to a stroked line and create a smooth transition in between. Now, of course, there's so much more we can do. It's crazy. So Command Y puts me into my artwork mode, and you can see that I have a line that acts as a spine connecting these two shapes. So Command Y puts me back into here again. If I want to release this blend, I can do an object blend release, and it will get rid of the blend. I still have that spine right there, so I'm going to delete that. The anchor points that I click on when I'm creating a blend make a difference. So let me go in here and just repeat the same thing. I'm going to click the top anchor point of the circle, the bottom anchor point of the square. And you'll notice that it is twisting that blend as it is going from that circle to the square. So in artwork mode, it doesn't look any different. I still have that straight spine, but you definitely get a different result. So let me go in there, and I'm going to release that again, and I will delete this. I could also select these two objects, do an object, blend, and make, and this is the same thing as just clicking middle point to middle point. By the way, I'm showing you two shapes. I could do a blend with 3 shapes, with 4 shapes that would just connect all of them if I wanted to. I'm keeping it simple here. All right, so I'm getting a smooth transition. If I double click my blend tool here, it brings me into my blend options, which is also available under here for blend. So instead of smooth color, maybe I do specified steps. So maybe I want to say, well, let's do 4 steps in between here. And I click OK. Now I am getting 4 steps from that circle to that square. And Command Y, again, is showing that spine, not the actual shape. So if I want this to be the actual shape, I can go under the Object menu to Blend, and I can expand. And when I expand, it breaks it into those individual pieces. So now you can see I actually have the shapes in there, and I no longer have the spine. So that is really nice when you want to have a nice transition, and it will automatically create the artwork for you. All right, so let me grab those middle pieces. I'll use my group selection tool and delete those out of there. Go back to my selection tool. Let's talk about reversing this a little bit, some of our other options that we have in here. So if I just create that, we did talk about the specified steps. I also have specified distance. So let's say I want a 1/2 inch. With my preview checked, you can see that it is going to put a 1/2 inch in between those as it steps it across. And so you definitely see those steps more. If I do a 1 inch, even more so. So those are my blend options as far as that is concerned. Now, when I look at this, you can see that the circle is layered behind, the square is layered above, right? This is the topmost object, this is the bottommost object. So also in my blend options, I have the ability to reverse the front to the back. And now the circle is the topmost object, the square is the bottommost object. If I want to reverse the spine, so in other words, if I want the square on this side and I want the circle on this side, that is when I will use the reverse spine. And now it will flip-flop those. Let me use the pencil tool, and I'm just going to draw an irregular shape here. and I'm going to select both that shape and my blend, and I will go to Object, Blend, and I'm going to replace my spine. And so when I replace the spine, now it has gotten rid of that straight spine that went from the square to the circle and replaced it with this pencil one instead. Now, this is also a time where if I don't want to double click, this is my blend options, same as double clicking on the tool itself. This is where the orientation right now is aligning to the page. And if I would say align to the spine, then you can see how that is rotating those objects so that it rotates with the path that I'm using as my spine. And that is pretty much the blend tool. Any shape, lines, have fun creating.